what we've allowed to happen, not only in America, but all over the world. Okay, I'm saying allow, I'm saying that loosely because I don't know what we can do. It's as if we really do need divine, intervention. We really need God's help because unless we get an ocean of people at every single Federal Reserve headquarters, all 7 of them in America, and I'm near the San Francisco one, so I'll end up there. But we need to rush these places. Like they do rush the border, we need to overtake these places and say, you're the root of all the problems. It's you, your money printing policies. You putting us in debt. The California governor acts like, oh, California is flush now, we're in the black. No, we're not. The majority of that money, to my understanding, is going to debt maintenance. They don't talk about that in the budget. All this stuff goes to support the debt. Do they ever talk about getting to the bottom and say, no, we want out of debt? Okay? And let's stop making poor people pay the price for the debt through debased currency, through inflating our cost of living. And they do. They manipulate markets every which way from Sunday. How I pointed out in my previous video. Well, how they've done it with the housing. That's all they really needed to do. They needed to pick on an essential human need, something you needed to have. You notice they couldn't get away with it with laptop computers or televisions or VCRs or cars or anything else. Okay, they got away with it with an essential human need. This is what I find so abhorrent. And I want everybody out there to join me in feeling like this is abhorrent that they did that. They might as well done it with air or water or food and just saying, oh, you don't conform, you don't have the magic elixir, the money, then you don't get any, no soup for you. I mean, what kind of deal is that? I mean, this whole thing is absurd, and we all have to understand just how absurd it is. These people invent problems. They invent chaos. They manufacture it. It's all artificial. You see, in order for them to remain relevant, and hopefully in their minds they would like to become more relevant, they need chaos. They need to maintain at least a minimum level of chaos to have job security, to be rendered relevant. You understand? And if they can maximize the chaos, then they're ready. Whoa, we got all these problems. Whoa, we need, we got to hire here and hire there. We need more Homeland Security. We need more NSA spying. We need more TSA. We need more, help us, the United Nations, this kind of attitude where everything's out of control. We can't handle our problems. We don't know what to do. Yet these politicians, I mean, they could give a crap about the people. They're supposed to be working for us. Who are they working for? Okay, primarily they're working for the money printers. They say, hey, these people are not so bright. If they were smart, they'd be decent, upright human beings with a conscience who would say, you know what? I know that way, will bring me temporary riches, okay, but I've got a soul to think about here. This is serious business. And although it might get me killed, I'm going to stand up to the forces that need to be stood up to. The money printing forces. These are the people destroying us. These are the people that are stealing the wealth of the people of our nation for generations to come. And hopefully in perpetuity. The last thing they want is this debt to be repaid. They don't want that. They'd be rendered irrelevant. So start right there. Understand how powerful these forces are, how all of us can be easily turned into money lovers, because of course it's logical, it's reasonable, it's common sense. We love to pay our bills, we love to eat, we got to buy food, you got to put gas in your car, okay, you got to do this, you got to do that. You need money, and God understands that we have needs, but money really isn't one of them. Okay, like I say, this is the devil's soup we're stuck in. I have to spend money, you have to spend money, we all have to spend money. Okay, but in order to be free, we have to figure out a way to wean ourselves off the money. And this is why I'm always spouting off about sound currency. Guys like Ron Paul understand it. Guys like JFK understand it. Guys like Abraham Lincoln understood it. Guys like Andrew Jackson understood it. And many others today are understanding more and more and more. This is how to get to the root of all the evil in the world, the war, okay? You think, how many of these guys are saying, what, you're not paying me to do that? There's no advantage? I was born rich. I have a right to share in Mother Earth's goodies as a birthright, as my inheritance, as a gift from God, not a man. And I don't have to go and fight and die for a cause I don't fully believe in. Okay? If a man fully believes in it, power to him. I mean, I don't believe in violence as long as you hate the violence. I mean, the idea of killing another human being, you should find as abhorrent as your father does. But in the name of self-defense, I mean, we all have a right. If somebody's shooting at your family, I mean, what do you think I'm going to do? You think I'm going to let there and see some guy getting bullied, some woman getting beat up? I'm not going to sit there and allow that. I'm going to step in, even if it gets me hurt. And that's what you should do. That's what we should all do. And if it means hurting somebody else, so be it. I mean, let God sort it out. But you know that you didn't want to hurt anybody. Hell, I've learned from getting to know myself better over the years that I don't want to hurt somebody accidentally, much less on purpose. That's why I'm a careful driver, and I tell my kids to be very careful. Because it's so easy. Can you imagine how easy it'd be to hit a bicyclist, a skateboarder, a pedestrian? I don't want to have to live with that crap. I don't want my kids to have to live with that crap. I don't want you to have to live with it. I don't want anybody. I sure as heck can only protect myself. And by being careful, I don't even want to hurt somebody's feelings. Why would I? What benefit, what does that do for me? I mean, look, the happier you are, literally the happier I am. I see it for the way it is. And that's why I care about everybody. I want things to be good for you. I want you to think the most of yourself. Have a small ego, be humble, have a small ego, be humble, have humility. Those are beautiful qualities. But you know what? You should have high self-esteem only because you understand your relationship. You're a cosmic being. You are a God animal. You came from the heart, mind, and spirit, soul of God. And He loves you. He loves you as much as He loves me or anybody else on the face of this earth. We're His kids. It all makes sense. It's logical. It's reasonable. And what does He want for you is the best. This is how I obtain happiness in my own life, is by getting things off my chest. I try to help other people understand. Try to lift people up and let them know that, you know what? This all makes sense. That, you know what? I understand why I'm not happy. I haven't been caring enough about other people. I got to care about people that are having a harder time in this stinking crap hole of a system. This beast system that literally, just like Jesus said, Satan is the prince of this world. Until Jesus returns again, that's the way it's going to be. It doesn't mean that you sit idly and do nothing. You've got to speak out. You've got to help people to understand so they can say, wow, I get it. I didn't even know that I was deceived by just going along with this system. I didn't know I had to, be a nonconformist, a non-comply, and don't comply to the system as best I can. I mean, does anybody ask questions like taxes? What a pain in the butt. People talk down about the Tea Party, but I say, what the hell? Who the hell likes taxes? What's so great about taxes? And it's all just a scam. The money printers just print what they need anyhow. It's a form, it's a method of intimidating the public and keeping us under their control. If you don't conform, we'll take all your stuff. If you don't conform, we'll go and tap into your bank account. If you don't conform, we could throw you in jail. Okay, it's all about control. So when they legitimize themselves in the eyes of the world because nobody else even really knows what it's like dealing with the IRS. I mean, there's other countries that have got it far worse than us in terms of taxes. Okay, all I'm saying is that why don't we discuss a stepped tax system? And we start, the only people that are mandated to pay are the ultra wealthy, okay, because it won't even hurt them. So, they can't even complain. I mean, if they're still going to be getting richer, or at least they get to keep their wealth and they're worth, tens of billions of dollars, hey, then, why not start there and say, the reason people are poor is not because there's not enough supply, it's because there's not enough currency. There's not enough, you've invented this austerity by destroying our currency, okay, and making it harder and harder to even have a little bit of the destroyed currency. And this is the cause, that they're not letting the wealth that belongs to the people circulate among the people. So you start with the ultra wealthy, and then it should be earmarked. Everybody has a conscience. Everybody should decide on their own what they think the money should be spent on. And if I don't like the causes that the politicians, celebs, throw in my face, I don't like the policies, then I say, hey, you know what? I don't want to support that. I'm not paying taxes to that cause. Okay? And then you go, then you gradually, you start making it 100% voluntary, okay? And then you say, okay, well, you're only making $100 million a year. You know what? You could pay taxes or not, and this is what we recommend. And you'd see the treasuries chock full of money, folks. Do you think they want that? You think that's the last thing they want. So by the time you get the people making a crummy, $500,000 a year, it's like, psst, we don't need your money anymore. Could you imagine how that would help the poor? Could you imagine how, and then you don't tax the poor at all. You don't make them pay squat. I mean, that's the way it should be. But nobody asks these questions, these very basic, simple questions. Name a problem, any problem, It's really that way. Why can't we have cures for cancer? Why? Because this guy is employed in the cancer research business, or this one's employed in the cancer treatment business. It's the stupidest thing in the world, folks. Hey, and if we solve poverty and crime started plummeting, I mean, what's that going to do for the job security, for the jailers and the law enforcement and the attorneys? Do you get how stupid this whole thing is? And what do I want for you? Do you think I want anybody destroyed? Anybody that's employed in any of these occupations? Whether it's debt maintenance, that people employed in the financial services business, whether it's the war industry, these valiant soldiers that are willing to die for the right cause often. I don't want anybody left out of the loop. What I'm saying is that nobody has to be left out of the loop, that we can have a society where everybody is free. And the way to do that is through prosperity. So sound currency is but a means to the end to get to liberty, to get to true freedom, because it renders the whole thing irrelevant. We don't need it. It becomes a silly game after a while. Once you've got so much money, maybe in the form of diamonds and gold and silver and platinum and whatever other kind of crap that we deem as, tangible wealth. Okay, once everybody's got pockets full and drawers full, who the hell cares anymore? You get what you want. So when you go to get a new car and you go to this gigantic mall and you say, hey, you know what? It's time I got a new car here. What are you going to get? You pick out what you want. Hey, I don't need your money. I got plenty. Look here, I just go to, I go get the food I need over here. I get, if I need a new computer, if I need a new camera, if I need new clothes. So everybody's, you understand? And people like to work. That's another instinct that these people would like you to forget about. They'd like you to forget the idea that we, as a collective society, a civilized collective society, can go to work and serve one another with a bounce in our steps, joy in our heart, a song in our lips. We can all have that world, folks. Don't believe otherwise. Don't believe the lies. They don't want you to believe it's possible that you would actually do that for your fellow man, that you would actually go out and serve in whatever capacity that's put on your heart to serve your fellow man, wherever you were useful, and we could work together on projects, infrastructure projects of every sort, that we could have a superfluity out there where, you weren't even needed to go to work but more than a couple hours a week. That's the world that we could have. And we'd be recreating, doing whatever you want, go surfing, go lay on a beach, go hiking, take a cruise. We could do all those things. And the Earth's not overpopulated, folks. Don't believe that lie either. The entire Earth's population could fit in the city of Jacksonville, Florida. The research is done, folks. It's all a lie from the pit of hell. And we don't have to have the dirty fuel that they claim is destroying the planet. CO2, as if CO2 would destroy the planet anyhow. It's the most absurd thing in the world. These people are nothing but a gaggle of murderous, lying, cheating, thieving, thug hypocrites. That's the people that are ruling over us. Illegitimate overlords. This situation's been going on for thousands of years. They've been honing their skills at this sorcery, this magic of how to oppress the people best, and all kind of new lies to come up with. Well, they're at their final one, because people know there's all kinds of suppressed clean technology. Why aren't people wondering? I mean, if solar is so great, why doesn't the government sponsor more, create jobs in putting up solar? People can't afford to have solar on their house, pay for it. If it's such a great ecological boost. No, you don't see it. They don't want the problem solved. And if you had oil interests, ask yourself, would you want the problem solved? Now back to current events and this problem, with the Central Americans, mass immigration. Do you want the problem solved? We've got the immigration industrial complex. You know, like the money industrial complex. They don't want the problem solved. The oil industrial complex. They don't want the problem